Okay, so in between lessons here, I went in and added a few more lip controls here. What we're going to pay a particular attention to in this lesson are the corners. Because of the flipping of the normals in this area, we have some pretty tight edges here. So when the mouth moves around, we'll see that there's a lot of flipping with the axes of the joints. You see the Y is pointing upward there. We advance one frame and immediately we're getting a lot of flipping on those corner joints. So we need to figure out a way to fix that. So we're going to add sort of a miniature version of this lip mesh here. We're going to add two single face meshes, one for each corner. I'm going to do that by selecting and duplicating this lip mesh. So edit, duplicate. Okay, I'm going to name this L lip geo. And duplicate that one more time by hitting Control D or edit duplicate, and this is R lip geo. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and hide the original lip geo as well as the R lip geo. Switch my selection mask so that I can only select geometry. I'm gonna go in and select this one face here, right on the corner. So with that face selected, I'm gonna hold down the Shift key and drag over this entire mesh so that it reverses the selection. So it selects all the faces that were previously unselected and then deselects the face that we had selected, and then hit delete or backspace. I'm going to unhide everything and repeat that with the right side. Okay, find that one face. Shift select all the other faces and hit delete. Okay, so we have our main lip mesh as well as our left and right meshes. A little tongue-tied. Okay, so once again what I'm going to do is select all of the joints. Once again what this button does is it's select quotation mark asterisk, which is wildcard underscore J and T. And J and T is the naming convention I'm using for all joints that I'm going to skin to. I'm going to deselect all of my lip influences. Shift select both my left and right lip geo meshes. And then select skin, smooth bind. Hide the main mesh. Hide our joints for a second. Okay, so let's zoom into this first mesh here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first select the object, then select skin, edit smooth skin, disable weight normalization. That way I can more easily change the weighting on these vertices and not have to deal with the normalization. I'll just re-enable the normalization at the very end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the weights of all the vertices to match the value of this one vertex in the outer left corner. What that will do is it will keep our mesh in the same position regardless of what the mouth is doing. So that if the lower or upper lip moves in the opposing direction, none of these vertices will fold past the other, which causes the normals to flip. By weighting all the vertices the same, no matter what the upper or lower lip or jaw is doing, this face or this plane here will always remain in this same shape and relative position. The vertices will never change their position relative to each other because they're getting the same deformations from the skin cluster weighting. That way we'll eliminate all the flipping in the corners. So I'm going to select this one outer left vertex and then select Window, General Editors, Component Editor. Okay, so we can see our weighting here. Let's do one more thing here. Let's back up. I'm going to first copy the weights from this main mesh onto the two left and right lip meshes. So I select the main mesh first, shift select the left lip geo mesh, then select skin, edit smooth skin, copy skin weights, and repeat that process with the right lip mesh. Okay. Now we can hide that again. Zoom back into this mesh and let's go through this weighting process again. So once again, I'm going to find the weight of this outer left mesh and apply those same weight values to the other three meshes. So with that vertex selected, Window, General Editors, Component Editor. So here I have a weight of 0.543 on low jaw 6 and on up lip 3, 0.457. So I'm just going to apply that weighting to all of the other vertices. And because I have weight normalization turned off, it's going to behave a little oddly. So with the weight normalization turned off, it allows you to get to values above 1.0. We'll see that again shortly. So here our totals are all 1. So I'm going to change these, set these to 0. So if we look at our weight values, they're below 1. Okay, now they're all at 1. Let's close this, go back to object mode. Now let's edit our next mesh, the right side. Do the same thing using the outer right vertex. Let's open up our component editor once again. So I'm toggling the hide 0 columns. So we have 0.544, 0.544, and 0.456. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to select both meshes and turn on weight normalization. So skin, edit smooth skin, normalize weights. Let's show our ribbon here, or lip loft. Now if you look at the local rotation axes of these lip corner joints now, So let's double check our planes here. Make sure that they're behaving as we expect them to. We're getting a little flipping there. Let's see what's going on. Oh, I know what's going on. Okay. So our plane is behaving the way we want it to. What we need to do now is create new rivets. So select these edges, the two lengthwise edges. You can activate our rivet tool. Here's the new locator there. Let's go to the opposite side. Select our edges once again, and then create a new rivet. That's what happens when you work at 2:42 a.m. Okay, so now that we have these new rivets, we're going to take the joints from the corner, hide these locators now, and parent them to the new rivets. Okay, so now these joints should be completely stabilized. So we're getting the basic normal information, which is perfect, but all of the flipping that we had previously is no longer happening. Even with the major head rotations, those planes no longer misbehave. Okay, so there is if you're using this direct control method, there's a quick fix for the corner flipping, which you will get just because of the amount of deformations and how the normals will start to flip, especially with since the corners of mouths tend to be very tight topologically.